Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. Now that China is not embargoing me anymore, I think I want to take a look at their market and sell them whatever I can afford to sell them, which should be a lot. Holy cow. They want a lot of opium. Unfortunately, I think I've got to keep most of that for myself because I think my market for opium is pretty rough on its own. I'm still getting most of mine from abroad. Let me see. Is it all the ones? Yeah, it's all the ones. All of the opium in my market comes from Cundinamarca, which is bananas. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I wish I could downsize some of these other buildings just to get more freaking opium in here. Anyway, it is what it is. Let me take a look at this market here. They do need paper, groceries, coal, and tools. So, I can export all of those to them. Paper? Absolutely. Are you sure? Well, not that much. Paper. Groceries? Not profitable. Coal? Not profitable. Even tools? Well, at least a little bit profitable. Where is it? Bananas. Alright, well that's fine. That's enough. Oh, maybe it's because of my low convoy count. Maybe that's what's happening. Let's throw some more convoys in here. We can have some more convoys in Texas. We'll throw some in Louisiana as well. How's Louisiana doing population-wise? Yeah, I got some labor available here. Let's throw some in... Oh, we actually got quite a few in Alaska already. Very cool. Let's do a little bit of development in Alaska. We'll put some whaling stations, some fishing wharves, and some coal mines. We've got quite a bit of infrastructure, so this is 20... 16 times 3 is 48. I am going to need to build a couple of railways. Realistically, probably only one, but that's okay. How long is that going to take? Oh, 29 weeks. That's fine. It's fine. Alright. Anyway, I thought we were going to have huge export opportunities with China, but apparently not. And that's alright. That's completely alright. Let's get started here. So the real question is France going to let us naval invade again? France has quite a force over here. Oh, Army of Dixie needs another leader. Let me see here. Both of these two are wounded. What about this guy? You're innovative. Cool. I think I'm going to put both of y'all on defense for the time being. You on the front? Yeah, that force comparison's reasonable. France has a lot of... Alright, so France has a lot of battalions right over here. We are winning that battle. Inconclusive for that one. Ooh, Afro-Caribbean mass immigration. Wonderful. And what is this situation? This is a British-Senegalese fascist revolt. Alright. So Britain is naval invading here. Why don't we do the same? They're invading in Normandy, or in Brittany. Uh-oh. We got a Red Scare. Alright, and why don't we go ahead and invade in Normandy? This is the American Expeditionary Force. Red Scare. The rise of the communist regime in communist Italy has spurred a sense of terror and mistrust across American society. Many fear that the United States of America will be the next to fall to communism. Every newspaper on the stand bore a title more extreme than the last. Shrill newsboys hawked them on corners, sending competing claims of atrocity and terror across the streets. Assassins and madmen claim power in communist Italy, cried one of them. Recovered Red Bible reveals agenda of world revolutionists, shouts another. And amidst all of them marched 10,000 wide-open ears, soaking up each sensational word as they hurried along in their stations. To their stations. It could happen here. 2% of upper stardom pops become more loyal. Trade unions get weaker. Or a panic will be wholly unwarranted. Everybody mad. Everybody except for the trade unions weaker. 2% of lower sternum pops more loyal. I'm going to go with the first one. I can live with that. It's not like they were going to get into power anyway. So what's going on here? We have Italy and we have a communist revolt. They have the support of Sambas and likely have the support of Spain. I can't intervene because I've got a truce with Italy. So I think that just is going to have to be what it is. Any other situations going on? Looks like no. A bunch of the conscripts appear to be filtering into the Army of the Americas. Not super pleased with that. Alright, Spain aligns. How's our attack? We are attacking here. Very good. Large numbers of Udmurt people. Interesting. Finnic people from Russia moving to Nebraska. So Japan, you want a defensive pact? No thank you. I don't desire a defensive pact with you at present, Japan. Spain abandoned Italy. Oh, fascinating. There's a lot of chicanery going on. Italy will not accept our support. What does the force comparison look like here? They're about evenly matched. The government's got a little bit stronger, but only a little bit. We've got a lot of naval battles happening. We're winning this land battle. Might be able to naval invade France with no problem. Alright, we've taken this French territory here in Australia. Chile sides with Italy. Cool. And we're moving another force to this front. The enemy's trying to get in here. In again, I think this is Christmas Island, but I'm not letting them do that. And that's a win. 25% landing progress. Down to 77 infamy. Looking forward to continuing to see that number go down, down, down. Let me take a look at these other diplomatic plays before I get overwhelmed. Schleswig is having a peasant revolt. Can't be bothered with that. Here's a peasant revolt in Nagpur. Not sure. Anyway, not gonna. That wasn't a pun. That was just me not knowing how to pronounce the name of the country. We'll go ahead and declare neutrality on that. This is a peasant revolt in the Dutch East Indies. Can't get anything I want from this, so we'll declare neutrality. This is... I can't do anything about that. It's already in the countdown to war. Same with this one. Don't need to worry too much about that. Britain, your house is a mess. You better sort that. Cool. Working on building up these not shipyards. These naval bases. We are still winning a defensive battle over here, which is kind of incredible. But it is what it is. Oh! Before we do anything else, I'm going to incorporate American Guyana. This is wonderful. We'll normalize production methods as well. Shazam. And there is central planning. Wonderful. So now that we've got that, we can generate a better market for our telephones. But first, the Ohio pipeline. Oil companies operating in Ohio have requested government assistance in funding a pipeline, promising that its construction will be accompanied by other infrastructure improvements. Putting a liquid inside a solid, putting that solid inside another solid, and propelling the whole mess across a railway, trust me, in the future they will laugh at how we once did this. Now let me show you how simple it can be. It'll be just like turning on a tap. I'm going to contribute. It's a tiny amount of government expenses for 10 infrastructure forever. Super good. Never say no to that. This is a Kanak uprising. I'm going to probably declare neutrality over there. So, where have we got some nice, solid government admin? DC is where we've got the most. If we switch over, that will actually increase required employment. Reduce paper costs, increase telephone costs. But I think it only makes sense that we do the capital first. I just think that makes perfect sense. So we'll see how that goes from a financial perspective as we go along. I don't need to do too much conversion, but I do want there to be a market for telephones. of some significant size because I need to be able to continue to increase the amount of radios I purchase. Wow, telephones are really far down there. Gosh, and also, golly, there are even people importing them. That's incredible. Why don't I go ahead... They're already on encourage exports. Oh, incredible. So, we'll do, I think, one more. We'll do the big one in New York. That should increase the demand. Leftist representatives threatened. A group of local representatives in the Assembly of Pennsylvania have been threatened with expulsion from the body due to their association with the Socialist Party of America. Their defenders have denounced the measure as inimical to democracy. The 5 men before us have been elected on a platform that is absolutely inimical to the interests of both this body and that of the United States. They are supporters of revolutionary tyranny, foreign agents, and consorts of hostile nations. It is because of this that they have no right to stand in a position of power. I am immediately calling a vote on their suspension from this body. They deserve everything they get. Trade unions member pops in Pennsylvania become more radical, reduces their political strength. Or it's a mistake to provide them opportunities for peaceful discussion. 2% of upper stratum pops in Pennsylvania become more radical, petite bourgeoisie salty. I'm going to do the second one. We're going to retain our civil discourse-related society. Did I have my election already? No, not yet. Where's the election countdown? Where's my boy? Did I... No, I did have my election. I had my election last episode. Yeah, it was on... Maybe I'm misremembering. There was a recent election, but I guess it wasn't that recent. How's our battle going over here? We are winning. So we're slowly building up landing progress. That's good. I'll be curious to watch what happens in Italy. Let's see. Looks like the communists are winning a defensive battle here. They are fighting mostly with trench infantry and shrapnel artillery. Though we got a mix of skirmish infantry in there as well. Here's pneumatic tools. Wonderful. That's a tech I love to have. And while we're on the topic of tech, we're working on steam turbine, but we don't have anything in the queue. So let's take a quick look. I think I want electric railways next. No, I want art silk. Incredibly. Unbelievably, I want art silk. I think after that, I want to tech up to electric railways. Society's looking pretty solid. Nothing I'm super interested in from this point. I think it'd be nice to knock out camera. Maybe grab film. From a military perspective, not super keen about any of these naval ones. I've got all the land ones from this side. So I think military is probably good. I may want to tech up to mobile armor with within a reasonable time frame, but I think I can afford to knock these production techs out. We'll throw in mechanized farming. In fact, ooh. Dutch East Indies making claims on my states of New Guinea. That's interesting. Oh, because of the Kanak uprising. Well, that's curious. Not sure what to feel about that. Oh my goodness, the Dutch East Indies exploded. They've got a peasant revolt, and I'm not involved. Huh, curious. Well, that's okay. Let's see. Mexico is embargoing us. Well, that's not a shocker. I have made their lives quite difficult. I will say that much. Do any of these other landings have any progress, or is it only mine? Yeah, it's only mine. Goodness. American Expeditionary Force doing that work. Gold depleted in South Dakota. Gosh, we can't just let them leave. And that means 3 more gold mines. Go ahead and throw those in at the top of the queue. Perfect. Railways in Alaska are about to finish. Alright, what is happening over here? Uluru? Uluru. Why are you looking so strange? They are calling us as an ally. Very well, I will accept. We have 2 fronts over here. Let's go ahead and send the Army of the Isthmus. And This front is going just fine, but I don't want to move anyone off of it. So we'll send the Army of West Africa as well. I don't actually, no. We'll send the Army of Central Africa. I don't actually need that many troops over here because Uluru is a country with very few battalions. So I'm not worried about that. Transvaal colonized Northern Cape. Oh, how curious. Me too. Wait a minute, did I just lock them out? No. Okay, that's very funny. Somehow this area got owned by the Basuto people. No objections to that on my part, I suppose. Some Lacustrine Bantu immigration, very nice. Peasant revolt going on in Chitral, which is over here, in this part of the world here. Cool. I can't get involved in that, I don't think. So we'll go ahead and leave it. We'll leave it be. Now, how's my naval invasion going? Ooh, we seem to have lost landing progress. That's unfortunate. They seem to have brought a bunch of troops back to France, and I think I know why. Or maybe the amounts have just increased. Cool. Suppose that helps? Alright, we are seeing success in this battle, so that's good. Let's look at the state of this war. Just trying to figure out. So, we've won 75% of battles. Britain's numbers are pretty solid. France is losing war support about 2.5 times the speed of Britain, but Britain is losing war support. Britain does have war support protection. France does as well because Britain's got to humiliate CB on them. And you can't humiliate unless you've taken core territory. The communist Italian arc, with arrested communists beginning to stream into American prisons, figures in the government have suggested deporting the non-citizens among them to communist Italy aboard a chartered cargo ship. Just as the sailing of the ark that Noah built was a pledge for the preservation of the human race, so the sailing of the communist Italian ark is a pledge for the preservation of the United States of America. A wonderfully poetic suggestion. Yue Mahayana peasants in Idaho will move to Umbria. 2% of pops in Idaho become more loyalist. That's quite curious. Or they will serve their sentences on our soil, petite bourgeoisie salty. Why would we put Yue people in Italy? That seems kind of deranged. Let's do it. I don't know if that was the right call or not, but it seemed a good idea at the time. Anti-Italian Association offers opportunity. The Anti-Italian Association has offered us an opportunity to sign a trade agreement with Austria. Their proposal, if accepted, is intended to counter Italian interests. It was a veiled sort of aggression, one which could, in theory, appeal to both ardent jingoists and those who preferred to mitigate losses. It would force the enemy to respond, possibly drive them towards a reckless confrontation in response to a seemingly benign maneuver. A plan to fight Italy to the last Austrian, one minister remarked. The representative flushed. He had practiced responses along both lines, but none of them quite fit. Hold on just one second. How's Austria feeling about me? Not great. I could improve relations with them, however. So let's get started on that. You know, I think we'll try it. We'd be happy to pursue this. So they'll be happy if we do this. Trampled underfoot. Oh, this looks bad. A demonstration organized by the Movement to Enact Interventionism in Sahara has been violently dispersed by police, leading to several fatalities and serious injuries. Memories of the incident have become a rallying cry for dissidents. He'd been smiling when he ordered his horse through the crowd. His expression was etched on her mind as if by acid on a metal plate. What kind of a man could maintain such heinous serenity among the screams, the broken bones, the spurts of blood? As people fled around him, he'd ordered his officers forward. And then what? Amidst the blur of human terror, she found herself sheltering in a haphazardly shuttered bar. Many others had not been so lucky. When she walked through the place where the demonstration had been held, she could not tell how many of the people sprawled across the flagstones were still moving. Censure the officers responsible. 2% of pops in Sahara become more radical. Armed forces and petite bourgeoisie salty. Or that they were ordered to disperse. The police are not to blame. 10% of pops in Sahara become more radical. Armed forces and petite bourgeoisie happy. I'm going to do the second one. That'll buy me a little leeway with them. And I need to keep their opinions up because I'm in the middle of a war. Yeah, everyone's going to try to increase autonomy. Little by little. Once again, this is an event in Monte Grosso. This is the Rubber Barons one. I'm just going to say we shall make Americans of them yet. I don't care about making the Southern planters mad, and we will make Americans of them. That's the whole point. We're losing convoys. There's the Uluruan peasant revolt kicking off. Force comparison here in the Christmas Isles looks a lot more solid, so let's go ahead and turn our units over to advance. And how are things looking in Uluru? Still waiting on getting a unit over here, but we are doing it. They are on the way. How's the naval invasion? 52% progress. Let's hope for another victory. How's the battle happening in Italy? Still kind of stagnant. In the face of the revolution. Policemen chasing rumors of an alleged planned communist uprising in Jujuy have stirred significant fear amongst the area's public. Local skeptics decry the disturbance as terrorism in itself. I'm sure I understand, Superintendent. You want us to go into this block in the dead of night while everyone's asleep to raid this warehouse on suspicion that it might be a communist meeting place? That is exactly what I want you to do, Sergeant. Now, might I count on you for this task, or shall I volunteer some men for you? If it doesn't materialize, then we'll have done our jobs. Upper Sternum Pops loyal, Lower Sternum Pops radical, extra radicals from discrimination in Jujuy. But there's no reason to believe this is credible. Salty petite bourgeoisie. I'm gonna do the second one. Let's cash out some of that good opinion for the petite bourgeoisie that we just got. Happily, the Uluruan peasant revolt doesn't seem very interested in actually attacking us over here. Let's go ahead and pull the Pacific Fleet over so that we can naval invade the other side, because this area is impassable. And obviously Australia is still holding this section. Let me see, there's something going on in Warsangali. It's a peasant revolt, which I can safely be neutral on with no problems. How's our landing? Looking like a success. Only need one more victory after this. Let's grab the... Oop. Dangerous hours. Someone, a particularly prominent figure within the industrialists, has issued scathing accusations of communist infiltration within the American press and government itself. What do you propose we do? We're losing the people. I'm sure I don't need to dictate their sentiments to you. No, you don't. My kingdom for a worthy distraction from the yells of our government. Preferably one more credibly bloodthirsty than ours. By Jove, that's it. What's the name of that dreadful ideology? Whichever it is, summon the papers at once. Call those accused before an investigatory committee. Angry armed forces and weaker. Industrialist pops become more loyal. Or you should provide some evidence for this claims. Industrialist pops become more radical. I'm going to do the second one. I really need to retain the support of the industrialists. I've gotten to the end of my construction queue once again. So let's go ahead. Well, let's build some stuff in Uluru. They're in the French market. Why are they in the French market? Hold on. They're in the joint front. Impossible. I'm furious. Well, let's take a look at the French market. Let's see what you can sell there. Dang. Cars. The French have cars already? I'm jelly. Well, can't swing and miss with agriculture, I suppose. They do not have any places to build agriculture, at least not here. Okay. What else? Sugar... Food industries. Food industries it is. What? Wow. Population here is not doing great. This is bad. This is really bad, Chief. Oh my goodness, Let's build some food industries at least. I don't know if this is the right call. There's so little population here, but having some sort of economy is better than having none. Now, what about my market? Still trying to increase the market for telephones, even if it's only from government admins. We'll keep working on that at the moment. Meat's a little expensive. Groceries are still increasing in price, which is just fine. I'm happy to continue to produce more. In fact, let's go ahead and get to work on that, shall we? Washington is a good place for some food industries. We're America. It just makes good sense that we would have a ton of food industries. Not a lot of labor available here. Plenty of infrastructure, though. What about in Oregon? Oh, plenty of labor available in Oregon. That's wonderful. Alright, let's go ahead and throw in 20 levels of food industries in Oregon. And let's have both of these produce only groceries, because I think liquor is really, really cheap in this market. Well, not that cheap. But they would be more profitable if they didn't produce liquor. So let's go ahead and just get kicked off with that. If we end up swapping them over, let's do the same thing with these ones. And then we'll have a solid hike in grocery output. And that'll be nice. Alright. That should be enough for now. Enough to be going on with for now. I'm going to bring in the Army of California. We're just going to station them in Great Britain so that they'll be ready for the crossing, because I'm hoping this situation kicks off soon. It looks as though the communists may lose in Italy, but I'm not sure. Well, maybe not. They're winning battles on a couple of different fronts. Not this one, but two on the northern front. Right, so that's battle number 3. 77% landing progress now. None of these other naval landings... Oh, this British one has a little bit of landing progress. That's fun. British are winning this naval battle here, which is just fine. So, how's my war support? My war support is very well held. Oh, actually, they're trying to liberate Venezuela, which means that I cannot... I've got war support protection for the moment. Let's go ahead and station the Army of the Andes in Venezuela, just to make sure they don't sneak anybody in there. Looks like we're winning this battle, at least by a little bit. There we go. There we go. Yeah, get him. That is a massive battle right there. France has to be pretty brutally in debt at this point. Oh boy, 32.5 million. That is pretty significant. And going up by 500,000 each week. Alright, so that should be fine. In fact, they may even default. Which, I don't know what effect that's going to have on the broader situation. Don't need to be involved in this diplomatic play in Noir, that's for sure. Could be a really interesting situation. Where are we losing convoys? Coast of St. Helena. You know what? I completely forgot to do the thing I was going to do down here. So where have my armies gone? Up my sleeveys. Alright. We will invade with the Army of Central Africa. Oh no, they've actually got troops here. Hold on. We'll do the other one. Who do we have over here? Army of the Isthmus, I thought. Well, Army of the Isthmus will be fine. And I've got a Phantom Army once again. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Mari people. Finlanders. Interesting. Alright, and there is the steam turbine. That's wonderful. And we are about to land here. Just going to go ahead and wait for this battle to finish, and then we will move our army from Britain to the front. Alright, now we are holding some of core French territory, so France will now no longer have war support protection. Very good. And there's a peace deal on offer. They are accepting being humiliated. I will accept humiliating them. And that is the end of that war. And we have an event. The White Emigre. A stream of wealthy North Italian emigres fleeing the communist regime in communist Italy have sought shelter in the United States of America, bringing with them tales of revolutionary terror and unbridled proletarian excess. The worst was these new secret police, just like the old ones. They would round up people they didn't like, usually when all was dark and quiet, sometimes the day, too. And if we ever saw liquor trucks going into their offices, well, we never saw our neighbors again. We had to get out. Very brave. We'll take good care of you here. Anything for communist Italy's most upstanding citizens. A tragic procession. Interesting. I'll be watching the war in communist Italy with interest. Although, I can annex Venezuela. Oh my goodness, it's going to be 67 infamy. How is this possible? How is it possible that it is that much infamy? Goodness knows. Do we still have a truce? We don't. I don't... That's so much. I can't believe it's more than it was to annex Colombia. I'm going to hold off a little bit. Well, am I? Let's get started with Nicaragua and see what other opportunities present themselves. No, I'm going to get below 70. I'm going to get below 70 because if I can grab all these three at once, that'll be very advantageous for me in the long term. I'll be very pleased with that outcome if that happens. Let's go ahead and get the Atlantic Fleet back to American waters. We started incorporating American Guyana. Might be able to steal Dutch Guyana without much of a problem. And then we'll have a front with France, and that'll make things really interesting. Not too interesting, I hope. You know what? The boys are mobilized. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Red Revolution, yellow headlines. Newspapers sympathetic to the interests of the industrialists printed numerous stories about the revolutionary desires of communists in the United States of America. The articles paint lurid pictures of strikes and planned terrorism. The Red Plague festers. Correspondents from across the globe have reported the unnatural stirrings of a thought most foul, that man no longer be entitled to the sweat of his own brow, that many hard-working communist Italian citizens no longer have natural rights to his property, and that his privacy be no more than a fleeting desire. That thought is communism, and it is coming for everyone in the United States of America. We must get this situation under control. Extra pop support for dedicated and militarized police. Interesting. Industrialist pops become more loyalist. Or we can't have a panic on our hands. Industrialist salty and a little weaker. You know, I would rather have more loyalists than less. We'll go with the first one. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna annex Nicaragua. They will not accept. Are there any that have a chance of accepting? No. And no. So this 13.2 infamy. That's 9.2. And this is 6.7. 13.2 and 9.2 together is 21. or 22.4. Add 6.7. No, I need to get a little lower first. I can't be too cavalier about this. That said, I think my annex debuff to subject stuff has gone away, so they're mostly feeling pretty good about staying in my empire, which I'm feeling pretty pleased about. Oh my goodness. Speaking of which, the Paris Commune has kicked off. Crisis in Paris. Discontent in the French Empire has led to the seizure of the city of Paris by revolutionaries. France is now split between two rival governments, that of Paris and that of Versailles. It was now midday, and the whole affair was a most strange and incomprehensible aspect to one not brought up to making barricades. Instead of a government blocking every street, as was the case in the morning, a hostile cannon was now looking down every avenue. The Paris government has no leg to stand on, increased relations with the French Empire. The French Empire could use a change in government. Paris Commune will be advantaged in its struggle. We have no interest in this. I'm going to do the second one. This is going to deteriorate relations with France. But, you know, maybe the communists will be a good thing. You know, for France. What's going on over here? Capitalist revolt in the Philippines. Curiouser and curiouser, I must say. Alright, we got a battle kicked off here. 25% landing progress. Alright, I'm feeling really good about that. We are losing money, but we've got so much in the pot that I don't think it's even going to affect things whatsoever. No, never mind. They sorted themselves. So, the California eruption. A violent eruption has shaken the state of California. Fragments of tephra and volcanic ash have destroyed buildings and crops, taking some of the lives of our people. The dense column of smoke was followed by a clear explosion. Shepherds who worked at the base of the mountain aimlessly turned their eyes at the now bright and clear cloud. The landslide came after. We can't predict an eruption, potentially a famine, or our people need us 51,000 for 2 years. I can live with that. So no chance of a famine, no devastation. 51,000 government expenses, that's okay. Armed Forces petition government. Representing his constituents in the armed forces, Adnet Chaffee has issued a formal petition to the American government to pass professional army. Ooh, I don't love that, Adnet Chaffee. I don't love that. I've got a citizen militia. It's good. One last matter for the day, sir. Members of your constituency arrived this morning. They're asking rather loudly and insistently if you would meet with them about new legislation. Well, is that it? Goodness, you seem to have seen a ghost. I'm sure I can spare the last hours of light for them, can't I? I believe so, sir. They weren't taking no for an answer. We'll see what we can do that adds to the petition, or they must understand the situation doesn't allow for this. I'm going to do the second one. I don't desire a professional army. At this stage in American history, I think we can live without a professional army. Abner Holmes retires. We now have an ethno-nationalist heading up the landowners. Well, that simply is what it is. That said, we are way over time at this point, so that is going to be the end of the episode. Friends, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you on the other side.